Most art advice is terrible and might be ruining your art. So I have taken a little deep dive to the internet and art community and put together a list of some of the most controversial art advice and hot takes there is. And today we shall go through these together and figure out how cooked you actually are if you follow this advice. Have you ever heard someone argue that using a reference is cheating? Because I feel like all of us have at least one of those stories. And I bet many of us then thought that real artists are just able to pull everything like straight from the memory, like your brain is supposed to come pre-installed with perfect anatomy, lighting, perspective, and just everything basically. And if you actually thought that was true, you probably tried to only rely on your memory, and let's just say the results must have been very humbling. It is honestly kind of funny that people call references cheating, but like cheating on who exactly? And I cannot recall ever hearing someone looking at a finished drawing and say, wow, that looks great.
But what a shame you looked at a reference for it.
But like, if I would have to pull some sort of argument that sides with this advice, I would say that it really depends how you're using your reference. If you just like copy everything without trying to understand what exactly you are actually looking at, then you are most likely not learning as much from the references as you could. But again, that is not the reference's fault. That is a skill issue on your part. Guys, let's rank this infuriating advice into our Are You Cooked tier list. Are you cooked if you think references are cheating? Yes, you are. Period. No further explanations needed on that one, but please share down below what is your take on these advices in this video, because I would love to hear what you guys think. I genuinely have no idea where this one originally came from, because literally everyone has always been using guidelines, like all the time, but I guess that just didn't fit with someone. I remember actually back in school, like way back when I was like 10 or something, I was drawing like characters in class. I guess you can call them OCs if you want to. And I drew a face with those little cross guidelines, and this random boy just looked at it and asked, "Why are you drawing crosses on people's faces?" Like he actually thought it had like a symbolic meaning or something, and I was so shy that I felt scared to start explaining the whole guideline thing, so I don't remember, I guess I said like, "Oh, I just like it." But that memory has kind of stuck out for me ever since. Like I've been questioning it for a long time. Is it actually weird to use guidelines? But then I grew up and realized that actually I don't care what non-artists and actually anyone thinks of the way I draw. So do I think you are cooked if you find using guidelines wrong? Yes, because we're real. Like, what do you mean it is wrong? Once again, this is a tool you can easily use to make better art. Like, stop making your life harder than it is, bro. The people who spread this advice are always like lurking in the comment sections whenever someone posts their drawing. It is always the one nerd who points out, actually, you're not supposed to draw the head like this. That is not how professionals do it. But like, according to who though? Are we talking about drawing or following like IKEA instructions? I am kind of confused. Might be shocking to hear that nobody actually draws the exact same way. I know, but it is the truth. But the point is, there is nothing wrong with that. It is kind of like in the last video where we talked about if the box anatomy method actually like works, should you actually use that? And many of you agreed and also disagreed with that advice in the comments. Like, there is no right answer to that really. Just draw how you want to draw. Nobody cares, honestly. And only exception here might be if you're trying to master a specific technique, so it might be worth your time to follow someone else's workflow because you might discover something in there that just clicks in your brain. But overall, there is not only one way to draw everything. That is getting a solid "you're cooked" if you follow this advice. Why is everything cheating now? First it is the references, and now it is also the erasers, rulers, and stencils. I do wonder where people draw the line on this controversial advice. Like, at what point is the pencil also cheating? Like, is mechanical pencil more cheating than a graphite pencil? Like, I am genuinely interested to know that. But the whole point of tools is to just make your life easier. Like, why not draw a straight line using a ruler if it is easily available? Like, working smarter is usually way better than making your life unnecessarily difficult, in my opinion. Of course, we can start having the whole conversation how AI can be viewed as a tool, but also it doesn't help you, but instead creates, or generates the art for you, which is not the point of using tools. Because tools are not the ones creating the art. You, an artist, is the one creating. Of course, if you want to be different and handicap yourself on purpose because you find it fun or something, then sure, go ahead. Spend your creative downtime as you wish, my little art kiddo. But yeah, are tools cheating? No, they're not. So please don't follow this advice. I beg you. Depends on how you define tools though. Like this little rant was just about my point of view. Share yours down below so we can have some philosophical discussions, because who doesn't love those? Alright, we're starting to get into these extremely controversial hot takes. Like, generally, this advice is technically true, but also I feel like people in the art community use it in the most annoying way possible. Like, someone just wants to casually share their art in TikTok. And undoubtedly, there will always be a few of those nerds writing down the essay in the comments of 23 things that are wrong with the drawing and how to improve it. And it is pretty annoying to see that if you didn't specifically ask for that advice. But also, this is not supposed to target anyone specifically, but I feel like some artists just take criticism way too personally. Like a little constructive feedback here and there shouldn't make you think that you suck and everyone finds your art the equivalent of shit. You just shouldn't feel too attacked. Let's just put it that way. There are always those peeps out there who just want to point out flaws in your work, and there is really nothing you can do about it. So either just learn to deal with it or ignore it. But okay, back to the main point. I think artists can be divided into two groups. Like those artists who want to always try to improve, and those who are just doing it for the funsies and as a little downtime hobby. And if you would identify yourself as part of this latter group of more casual artists, you probably don't want or need someone pointing out the little things you should improve on. Like, I get that. I feel like I'm also part of these artists. And if you strive to always improve, you most likely appreciate the criticism because it is actually one of the best tools for improving. But then, how is anyone else supposed to really know which one of these artists you are unless you make it painfully obvious on purpose? But most of the tips and criticism for improving does come from people with the right intentions, I would say. So even if you don't want the advice, just let it be. It isn't that big of a deal. How should we rank this one? I will put this in the middle because there is two ways to really look at this. Please share your opinion down below. I would love to hear what you think about this.
Meow.
This one is pretty interesting because I think that a lot of people confuse more effort with better art. Like for example, if your drawing isn't covered in 500 layers and different textures or doesn't have enough lighting effects, does that mean it is unfinished? Well, no. Of course not, but I guess it can easily feel like that to someone else when learning art, because rendering kind of feels like progress. But just because you spend 8 hours adding a bunch of details, highlights, and shadows that no one except you will ever notice, doesn't necessarily mean that it is any better than an unrendered piece. Of course, this entire topic is just based on personal preference mostly. It was like a few videos ago, I remember someone leaving a comment like, not to be rude, but your art is like very cartoony, like what you see in children's coloring books or something like that. And like I was a bit confused of that comment because what was their point though? Because yes, the style is clearly that is what I am going for. What do you mean? And it kind of made me wonder like how many beginner artists actually think that only highly rendered art is like acceptable, I guess. I don't know. But are you cooked if you always want to render your art? No. Like if that is what you prefer, then go for it, sister. But also, you don't have to. That is totally up to your own preference. Everyone loves labeling things, and even if you say you don't, then I am sorry to break it to you, but you still do it unconsciously. And that is because labeling things in many cases is useful. For example, if someone says, I'm looking for an anime art, you immediately like somewhat have an idea what they are talking about. It is just easier way to describe something. But labels in especially like art styles can easily become a prison if you think of it like, well, can I call my art style anime if I draw them realistic lips? Or like, is my style cartoony anymore if I start rendering more? Which is kind of what we talked about before, like it shouldn't matter that much, but it can be very hard to develop your style if you're too focused on fitting into a label, if you feel too scared to experiment. Just overall, your style should describe your art, but not tell you what you're allowed to draw, if that makes sense. So are you cooked if you want to give your art style a label? No. But are you cooked if you try to restrict yourself because you want to fit into a specific label? Yes. So I will just leave this in the middle for now. I sincerely hope this next one won't be going to start a fight, but here we go. Does your art always need a meaning? And should you intentionally try to keep all your art a meaning? I don't know, like sometimes, well actually like 99% of the time, I just want to draw something that looks cool, something that I feel inspired by. And there's like no deep hidden message in there, no thoughts or deep commentary on society or something. But when you think about it, actually that meaningless itself might be a meaning. Okay, like, I don't know if that makes sense, but in my head, it does. Also, I know that many artists like to argue that all art is in some way political, and I kind of get where they're coming from with that. Like, of course, your environment and life situation reflects on what you want to create, and also just the culture around you where you grew up in that inspires your art because it feels familiar to you. But I kind of feel like you shouldn't try to find that kind of political meaning either in someone's art, unless they specifically state that there is a meaning. That is just how I feel about it. Are you cooked if you think your art needs a meaning? If you want to give it a meaning, then go ahead, no one will stop you, but also you don't have to give it a meaning. So this will be the easiest to rank in the it's okay tier. Whoa, didn't mean to make you guys feel this attacked. And before you start typing your hate comments, just hear me out for a second. First of all, I am referring to the medium of digital art and not the digital artist. Because if you're being honest, digital does give you like overwhelming amount of advantages. Unlimited undo, infinite canvas, layers, transforming tools, color picker, and blah 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 blah. And in traditional, if you make mistakes, you just gotta live with it, I guess. Which is a good thing. That itself teaches you a lot of useful life skills. And just because I say that digital art is easier doesn't mean it is easy, of course. Because just because I give someone tools to create something doesn't make them a great artist. I feel like this whole argument is kind of just like quite pointless because these are just way different tools. So let's rank this in the middle and move on. I wish this one was true, like I really do. It would make so many artists' life like so much easier. Like if you just train yourself to be really good at drawing or painting or whatever medium is your main, your email inbox would magically fill up with commission requests. But sadly, the internet does not work like that. Like it is actually quite heartbreaking when you find an artist with the most insane skills and you kind of think like, okay, I am quitting because there is no way I will ever be that good. But if you look at their profile, they only have like 200 followers and the post has like 2 likes. Because like social media platforms and the whole content creation world is not really made to favor artists. If you want to get commissions, you have to first understand the scary word of marketing. And yes, I know is a very scary word, but listen, I know we all just want to draw and release a speed paint or one of those revealing my artwork videos, but sadly that is not really enough anymore. Like you gotta truly convince people they should commission you or somehow become very likable and form a connection with your audience, which can be really hard. It takes time to learn that skill. So yeah, sadly, I do not recommend following this advice too literally. Like, of course, try to get good if that is what you're gonna go for, but skills don't guarantee commissions if no one is seeing your art or like you as an artist. So, you're cooked. And now I have gone through and ranked all 10 of some of the worst art advice there is. I would love to hear your takes on these advices and rankings, and if you have other terrible advice you've heard, please share that down below. You guys are amazing and thank you so much for watching and helping this channel reach 60,000 subscribers. That is honestly insane. I'll be sharing cookies in the comments to celebrate. See you guys in the next video. Bye bye.